Let's talk about that part of him that seems to have a direct line to his ego, his pleasure, and if we're being honest, his most vulnerable self. Most women are taught to treat it like a simple switch. Touch it here, move it there, and boom, mission complete. But that's not what makes a man crave you. That's not what makes him think about you when he's alone or compare every other touch to yours. Because here's the truth no one tells you when it comes to his joystick. It's not just about technique, it's about emotion. It's about how you make him feel through every gesture, every glance, every tease. See, a man's joystick isn't just about physical release. For many guys, it's the most emotionally charged part of their body. It's where they feel desired, accepted, and safe, but only when it's handled the right way. And that's what today's video is all about. We're diving into what he secretly wants you to do with it, what he craves but rarely says out loud. I'm going to share 5 powerful, playful, and deeply intimate moves that are not only sexy but empowering for you. Because when you know how to connect with him on this level, you're not just another partner. You're unforgettable. This is where confidence meets chemistry. So buckle up, because after this, you'll never look at his joystick the same way again, and neither will he. Let's get started. Most women underestimate the power of anticipation, especially when it comes to a man's joystick. The urge to jump straight into action can feel like the right move. After all, it's what we're told men want. Fast, firm, direct. But here's what most people don't realize. What turns a man on most isn't just the act itself, it's the lead up. It's that slow burn, that teasing build up that creates a kind of tension so electric. He starts to crave you long before you even touch him. When you start slow, when you make him wait just a little longer, you're speaking to something primal inside him, something that wants to be teased, tested, and tempted before he's given what he really wants. Imagine this: instead of going straight for it, your fingers dance just around it. Not quite touching, just grazing, hovering almost there, and then pulling back. Your breath brushes across his skin, your eyes lock with his. And in that moment, he's not thinking about anyone else. He's not even thinking about himself. He's thinking about you, what you're about to do, what you might not do, what you're making him feel without even fully touching him yet. That kind of restraint, it drives him wild, because you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him an experience, one that keeps him on edge, keeps him wondering, and keeps him wanting. This is where the emotional connection really starts to form. When you go slow, you're telling him, I see you. I'm not here to just go through the motions. I want to enjoy this. I want to enjoy you. It makes him feel like more than a body, more than a means to an end. It makes him feel chosen. It makes him feel desired in a way that most men rarely experience. And when he feels that, when he senses that you're not rushing, that you're savoring, he begins to open up, not just physically, but emotionally. Going slow also gives you control. You set the pace, you lead the experience. And that's incredibly powerful. It allows you to explore, to learn how he responds to the tiniest movements, the softest touches, the moments of pause. Every second you delay, the anticipation builds, and the reward, when it finally comes, is so much more intense. You become the one who knows exactly how to unlock him, not just physically, but mentally. You're no longer following a script, you're creating your own, and he's hanging on every page. And don't underestimate how sexy this feels to you too. When you slow things down, when you take your time, you're not just giving to him, you're enjoying the moment for yourself. You get to feel his reactions, sense his breath quicken, his body respond. You're not just pleasuring him, you're in full control of his pleasure, and there is something incredibly magnetic about that. So next time you're with him, resist the urge to rush. Don't treat his joystick like a task to check off the list. Treat it like a piece of art you're learning to paint with your fingertips, like a melody you're learning to play slowly, note by note. Because when you start with anticipation, when you make the destination something you both earn together, he'll not only enjoy the journey, he'll beg you to take the wheel again and again. And that's when you become unforgettable. Eye contact is one of the most underrated forms of intimacy during physical connection, especially when it comes to handling a man's joystick. It may sound simple, even obvious, but don't be fooled. The way you look at him in those moments has the power to send shockwaves through his entire nervous system. Because here's what most people miss: when you make eye contact while touching him, you're doing more than turning him on. You're showing him that he's seen, that he's felt, that he matters. Most men never get to experience this kind of depth, They get physical affection, sure, they get arousal, even attention, but emotional visibility, that's rare. Eye contact communicates what words never could. It tells him, I'm here with you. I'm tuned into you, not just what I'm doing. When you hold his gaze, you break the script. It's no longer just about the mechanics. It becomes a moment of real, raw connection. You're no longer just someone he's hooking up with. You're someone who sees him not just as a body, but as a man. This kind of visual connection also elevates your own confidence. When you lock eyes with him, you're saying, without words, I know what I'm doing. I'm not afraid of you. I want to see you react. And that alone is intoxicating because men are so used to women avoiding their gaze in moments like this, whether out of shyness, nerves, or distraction. But when a woman holds his eyes with calm intensity while she's pleasuring him, it shakes him, it electrifies him, it anchors him to you. And here's another layer. When you give him that visual connection, you give him permission to be vulnerable. You give him the safety to lose control. Because when you're looking into his eyes, you're not judging, you're not performing. You're fully with him. And that emotional safety, that grounding, makes the pleasure even more intense. He doesn't have to put on a show. He can let go. He can fully feel it. And that's when he remembers you, not just in the bedroom, but long after it. You don't have to stare like a statue. It's not about holding an unbreakable gaze. It's about moments when your eyes meet and there's that unspoken charge, a flicker of a smile, a glint of mischief, a shared breath. These micro moments create a bond that makes the experience feel intimate, real, and personal. And trust me, he'll feel it. Even if he can't explain it, he'll walk away knowing something was different, and that something was you. Men crave affirmation, but not just through words. They crave being chosen. And when you touch him while looking right into his eyes, you're saying, I'm choosing you. You're saying, I want you, and I'm not hiding it. That kind of bold femininity is magnetic. It's rare. And it changes the way he sees you, not just as a sexual partner, but as a woman who truly gets him, a woman he can't forget. So don't underestimate the power of your gaze. Let it be part of your touch. Let it speak your desire. Let it tell him without saying a word that you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him you. And once he experiences that, he'll never look at physical touch the same way again. There's something deeply seductive about a woman who knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to take it. Especially when it comes to a man's joystick, this confidence becomes magnetic. While the world often paints men as the ones who want to dominate, the truth is that many men secretly fantasize about being on the receiving end of that energy, not in a way that takes away their masculinity, but in a way that allows them to surrender, to feel taken, craved, and completely desired by a woman who owns her sensuality. When you take control, even just sometimes, you tap into something unexpected in him. You shift the dynamic from passive receiver to active giver. You send a message that says, I know what I'm doing. I know what I want. And right now it's you. That level of certainty, it's intoxicating. It bypasses his logic and goes straight to his instincts. He stops thinking. He stops analyzing. He starts feeling. Because when a woman reaches for him with boldness, with intention, with a clear desire to handle every part of him, it wakes something up inside him that's usually kept quiet. And the beautiful thing is, this doesn't have to be aggressive. Taking control can be as subtle as placing your hand firmly around him, shifting the pace, or guiding his body exactly where you want it. It's not about domination, it's about direction, about creating a moment where he doesn't have to lead, where he can let go and simply receive. That's a gift, and not one he gets often. You see, most men are expected to perform, to know what to do, to be the one initiating, leading, driving. But that pressure builds up. And when a woman steps in, looks him in the eyes, and makes it clear that she's about to take him somewhere he's never been before, it's more than sexy. It's liberating. He gets to relax. He gets to feel chosen, not just accepted, but craved, like you couldn't wait to get your hands on him. That kind of energy stays with him. Taking control also shows yourself trust, and that's a huge turn on for him. It shows that you're not waiting for permission to express your desire. You're not shrinking, asking, or hoping. You're claiming what turns you on. And that kind of unapologetic feminine power makes a man feel like he's with someone rare, someone unforgettable. Because while anyone can touch him, few can make him feel wanted in that way. And here's the part no one tells you when you take control. You're giving him a chance to be emotionally vulnerable. You're holding the space. You're saying, I've got you. That small shift in energy changes everything. It turns a physical act into a trust-building moment. He doesn't just feel aroused, he feels safe. And in that safety, he can lose himself in you. He can let go. And that's when the deepest kind of pleasure begins, not just for him, but for both of you. So don't be afraid to take the lead sometimes. Touch him like you mean it. Handle him like he's yours, because when you do, you don't just turn him on. You show him a version of yourself he didn't even know he needed. Bold, confident, playful, free. And that woman, that's the one he dreams about long after the moment has passed. Most women underestimate just how powerful their voice can be in the bedroom. It's easy to think that what you do with your hands or your mouth is what captures his attention most. But the truth is, what you say while you're doing it can take everything to another level. Men are deeply auditory creatures. They respond to sound, to tone, to affirmation. And when you're touching his joystick, there's something incredibly erotic and emotionally affirming about letting him hear exactly how you feel. It's not about putting on a performance. It's about being present, expressive, and real. When you use your voice during intimacy, whether it's a soft moan, a whispered compliment, or a playful tease, you're pulling him deeper into the moment. You're showing him that you're not just physically there, you're mentally and emotionally engaged. And that's what lights him up. That's what makes him feel like he's not just satisfying you, but that he's turning you on in a way that goes beyond the physical. Your voice gives him feedback. It tells him, yes, that feels good. Or better yet, I want more of that. It gives him the confidence to keep going, to relax, to enjoy you. And it's not just about encouragement, it's about admiration. When you say things like, you feel so good, or I love the way you respond to me, or even something playful like, your joystick is mine tonight. You're doing something incredibly powerful. You're affirming his masculinity. You're telling him in no uncertain terms that you like what you see, what you feel, and what you're experiencing. And men crave that. Not just physically, but emotionally. They want to know that you want them, that you're turned on by them, that you see them as powerful, sexy, and desirable. The beauty of using your voice is that it also frees you. It gives you permission to be fully in your body, to enjoy your own desire, to stop thinking about how you look and start expressing how you feel. And that shift changes everything. When you let yourself say what's on your mind, whether it's dirty, sweet, teasing, or appreciative, you tap into a raw, feminine energy that's magnetic. You're no longer the passive receiver. You're the sensual, expressive, confident woman who knows exactly how to amplify pleasure for both of you. And here's something few people realize: your words can become memories. A man may forget a move, a position, or even how long things lasted, but he won't forget what you whispered in his ear when he was at his most vulnerable. He won't forget that moment when you gasped his name or told him how much you craved him. Those words stay with him. They loop in his mind. They replay during the quiet moments. That's the kind of impact your voice can have, not just in the moment, but long after. So don't hold back. If something feels good, say it. If you love how he looks or feels, let him know. Use your breath, your tone, your whispers. Be playful, be sultry, be bold. Your voice is part of your sensuality. And when you use it, not just to communicate, but to connect, you make the experience richer, more intimate, and completely unforgettable. He doesn't just want to feel you. He wants to hear what he does to you. And when you give him that, you don't just turn him on. You stay on his mind again and again. When it comes to physical connection, especially touching his joystick, it's easy to focus only on the physical mechanics, what feels good, what gets him going, what leads to the final release. And while yes, those things matter, there's a layer that most people never explore, and it's the one that leaves the deepest impact. It's the emotional layer, because when you connect with him in that intimate moment, not just to his body, but to his heart, you're giving him something far more powerful than pleasure. You're giving him meaning. And that changes everything. Most men are starving for emotional safety. They might not say it. They might not even be fully conscious of it. But deep down, there's a craving to be touched, not just for what they can do, but for who they are. When you hold his joystick with genuine presence, when your touch is full of intention, affection, and reverence, he feels that. He may not have the words for it, but he knows the difference between being handled and being cherished. And the moment he senses that shift, his whole nervous system responds. He lets go. He surrenders, because you've created a space where he doesn't need to perform. He just needs to be. That's the kind of intimacy that makes a man addicted. Not just to your body, but to you. When your touch says, I want to give this to you because I adore you, not because I expect something back. It hits differently. He feels chosen, not used, seen, not judged, love, not just wanted. And the connection that forms in that space can't be faked. It's soul level. It's rare. It's unforgettable. What does this actually look like in practice? It's about slowing down and being present, not rushing, not checking out mentally, but truly being with him. It's about touching him with kindness, not just desire. It's in the way your fingers linger, the way your breath softens, the way your eyes hold his like you're trying to memorize the moment. It's in the quiet you create between the beats of pleasure, that soft silence where emotion can rise. And maybe you'll kiss his forehead or trace your fingers across his chest or whisper, I love being close to you. It's small, but it's monumental. It tells him, you're not just a body to me. You matter. And here's what no one talks about when a man feels emotionally connected in a moment of physical pleasure. He experiences deeper pleasure. His arousal isn't just a build-up of tension. It's a response to being emotionally safe. It's amplified by feeling admired, respected, and cared for. That's when pleasure becomes vulnerable, almost spiritual. That's when the climax stops being a goal and starts becoming a release of everything. Stress, tension, fear, pride. That's when he lets go in every sense. So the next time you're touching him, especially that part of him, bring your heart into it. Don't make it routine. Don't make it transactional. Make it devotional. Touch him like he's not just your partner in the moment, but someone you're deeply grateful to experience. Someone you choose again and again, even when words aren't spoken. Because when you connect to his heart, you don't just turn him on, you reach him. And that's the kind of experience that bonds him to you long after the lights go out. The truth is, anyone can learn technique, but it takes a powerful woman to make pleasure emotional, to make it feel like love, to make him feel something that lingers long after the moment ends. That woman is unforgettable. And that's who you are when you touch him, not just with your hands, but with your heart. So let's bring it all together. When it comes to his joystick, it's never just about the physical. What he secretly wants, and what very few women ever give him, is that perfect blend of tease, eye contact, confident touch, verbal admiration, and emotional connection. He wants to feel desired, not just used. He wants to surrender, not just perform. And when you give him that, you don't just satisfy him, you seduce his entire soul. You become the woman who doesn't just turn him on, but tunes into him. The woman who makes him feel like he's the only man in the world when you touch him. The woman who touches with intention, speaks with desire, leads with confidence, and connects with depth. That kind of experience. He won't just crave it, he'll crave you. Now here's your call to action. Don't let this just be something you listen to and forget. Choose one of these 5 moves and try it next time you're with him. See what shifts. Watch his body language. Feel his energy. Notice how much more present he becomes. Because once you begin creating that kind of experience, you unlock a version of him most